How's it going, guys? Squid by the Mile here. And I've actually been looking forward to making this moto vlog a lot recently, actually. But this moto vlog is going to be on my 1 year of riding. Now, over my 1 year of riding, I have come to realize a lot of stuff that I didn't know whenever I first got into motorcycles. I know a lot of people on this channel, or a lot of my friends and whatnot, so I know a lot of y'all already know that I started off on a Honda Rebel 250. But after moving from that Honda Rebel 250, I only had that bike for about a month or so. I moved to this VFR 800. And over my year of riding or so, I mean, I'm not the best rider, don't get me wrong, but I have, you know, come to realize some things. Probably the most important thing that I've come to realize since I've started riding is how much of a family this is. Like, I really don't know how to put that any clearer than what I just said it. But everybody who's on two wheels is considered this big family, and everybody in this family takes care of one another. It doesn't matter if you're a Harley Davidson, it doesn't matter if you're a scooter, it doesn't matter if you're a crotch rocket. It really doesn't matter. If you're on two wheels, you are a part of this family. And that's probably the biggest thing that I've come to realize over my time of riding. It doesn't matter what you ride, really. I'm just gonna kind of ride around and just, I guess, vlog. One of the things that I've noticed that really sucks is that a lot of people on the road don't watch out for motorcyclists. Whenever I drive anything but my motorcycle, that's probably the #1 thing I'm actually looking out for. I've always been taught to look out for them because they're just so hard to see, and really nobody looks out for them. That's really probably the second thing that's most important, is just how dangerous these things are. And it's not even the motorcycle itself that's dangerous, but that's what people come to think a lot whenever you hear, oh, I got a motorcycle. They're like, oh, well, nice knowing you, because you're probably going to die. Well, not necessarily, because it's really not the motorcycle that's dangerous. It's really everybody else on the road. Some of the people I've talked to that's bought motorcycles actually regret buying the motorcycle, and I really don't see how you can regret buying something that's just so, I don't know, it's just fun in my opinion. I understand they're dangerous, but that, you got to get that through your head, especially whenever you're buying a motorcycle. I mean, that's common sense. But do I regret buying a bike? No. Not in the slightest. I just wish they didn't cost as much, but I don't regret buying it at all. But it's just something about the bike that causes you to be able to kind of free your mind, because I know a lot of people don't look at it this way, especially if all you've ever driven is a car and you've never been on a motorcycle, to where you have nothing holding you in and you have to worry about everything else around you. Is that whenever you're on a motorcycle, whatever's bothering you, like in your mind, whatever you have on your mind, you just have to throw that away, because you cannot worry about anything else while you're on a motorcycle, because all your attention's got to go to your surroundings. And I hate to say it, but a lot of people that drive cars don't look at it that way. They're just like, oh, yeah, there's nothing in front of me, I'm just gonna stomp on the gas. And I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, a lot of people look at it that way. But one of the probably greatest things that I can say about this motorcycle, or just the fact that I chose to start this new lifestyle on a bike is, number one, the amount of friends I've made because of it. Not because they think it's cool. I'm talking about other people that ride motorcycles that I'm like, that I've come to know. Like, we just talk about motorcycles and they help me out whenever I need help. And I mean, it's just stuff like that. Like I said, it's just a big family. And the fact that whenever I'm feeling stressed out, I always have something to go to. I mean, it's just insane how much riding a bike can like cure stress and all that, at least in my opinion. And the third thing is that it has allowed me to be able to entertain. Whenever I was first looking at motorcycles, I had no intentions of starting a motovlogging channel. Honestly, whenever I was in high school and I first started seeing motovlogging, probably whenever I was in like 9th grade, it was literally stupid. I hated it. Like, anytime I saw a motovlogger, I was just, that's so stupid. But whenever I got into like 10th and 11th grade and I started really looking into it, like what these guys were doing and whatnot, I was like, you know, that's pretty neat. And a few people actually really got me into riding motorcycles. I'd been wanting to get a motorcycle ever since I was in like middle school, but it was just kind of like one of those, like, you know, dreams that you never really think about, because you're like, okay, there's no way I'm ever going to be able to get a motorcycle. Either I'm not going to be able to come up with the money, or, oh look, there's a deer. Oh look, there's a bunch of deer. I'm just glad they didn't run out in front of me. That would have been bad. Alright, what was I saying? That's the bad thing about vlogging, is that I can't keep my mind on track, because something like that'll happen and it's just like my attention just goes like, that's it. But I guess that's why they have editing. Like, if editing software didn't exist, like, y'all probably would, I would still probably be doing this, but y'all would hear me just probably babble like an idiot for like 20 minutes straight. I record for about 20 minutes and then I just take out the best stuff and I cram it all in a video. Just the stuff that I feel is worth watching, you know? I think to myself, I'm like, am I having like a brain aneurysm or something, just because I can't get across what I'm trying to say, or my mind won't hop back on track and I just lose my train of thought, and it's just bad. In 11th grade, whenever I really started getting into motovlogging and I started understanding kind of why they were doing it and what it was all about, that pushed me more towards getting a bike, because it felt like I was sitting where they were sitting and I was seeing what they were seeing, and just seeing that how free they were on a bike, I was like, you know, I really would love to be on a motorcycle. So I started really looking at them, and I finally found one and I bought one. Probably about 6, 7, 8 months into it, I started looking at action cameras, not necessarily the GoPros, because they were just too expensive at the time. And I was like, alright, well, I want to start a motovlogging channel. And I had no clue how to do it. I've been watching videos, I've been watching tutorials on like how to start it, how to start a YouTube channel. But I didn't know anything, and I'm not really computer inclined or anything, so I really don't know much about anything that has to deal with this kind of stuff. You'll never succeed if you never try. And ever since then, I've been just uploading videos, you know, not the best, by any means, not the best. But I upload some videos, and then I'll get some feedback, I'll get a comment that says, hey, this and this isn't working, or maybe try this. And you know, it's just people like that who just kind of help each other out, and I really appreciate you guys. You know exactly who you are. But I've had a lot of help starting this channel from a lot of people, just because I didn't know what I was doing. But I feel I'm getting a little better at it, you know. Ever since my first video, definitely. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with the whole writing and talking thing, because whenever I first started, it was just like, I'd say 2 words and then I couldn't even stay on track with what I was saying.